Hey guys, Abby here. Welcome back to our Viewer's Choice series. I had a very, very good question or topic suggestion by one of our viewers who really made me think a lot. And yeah, I I was very interested in finding out more information about it. This person had asked, um, "What are the legal responsibilities of a child born of cuckolding?" Fantastic question. We have covered so much on cuckolding on our channel. I can't believe this hasn't come up yet. Um, or at least the legal ramifications of all of this or responsibilities. So, I will throw out this little disclaimer. I am in no way, shape, or form an attorney, a judge, anything to do with the law. And take this for face value for what it is, entertainment, because it's hard to say what is concrete law in anywhere in the world or everywhere because it's not always the same. So, just some little bit of food for thought, maybe more than anything. Some good questions to raise to get the conversation going. Um, with all the cuckolding going on around the world, and some relationships result in pregnancy, um, be it that it's wanted or unwanted. Um, someone might wonder what exactly are the legal responsibilities for all parties involved. Well, as I dug into this, you know, again, not an attorney, if you're considering breeding as a part of your cuckold play, I recommend finding out what the legal obligations are in your specific area or country. Because this is just information I got from an article that makes some generalizations and is no way, shape, or form law anywhere. So, some things to consider before becoming pregnant. If the cuckold man takes on the role of father in a non biological sense, raising the children, taking on financial responsibility, etc., you could be legally obligated to continue on in the same way if the man and woman were married. Now, if unmarried, there may be slightly more room for an exit in this situation for the male, but the principle could be similar. In some areas, the male partner could potentially sue the female to recover funds. However, this possibility might be very limited. The idea behind this rests on the long-standing premise that the people who should be protected by law are the children first. I wholeheartedly agree with that. The woman second, thus the responsibility exists that the male could still typically owe child support. It ensures that children are still cared for until they are an adult. So, in the realm of cuckoldry, the mother can also be held liable because she didn't take action to prevent the pregnancy, with the exception of force. We'll say force, because I don't think YouTube likes that word either. This is due to more women working than when the initial laws were made and a decrease in wage gap between men and women. So, the mother can be liable just as well. Not only is there the possibility of women to be sued by their husbands for being negligent in attempting to prevent pregnancy and paying damages to their cuck husbands, they could potentially be threatened to jail time. You never know. You know, if there's the possibility of the cuck to sue the mother for damages, on the flip side, the mother could also sue the biological father for damages, child support, etc., and hold him responsible. Considering the worst case, if neither cuckold nor the biological father is made to contribute resources to the child or to the children, slack that would most likely be taken up by welfare programs, as mothers are likely to be able to contribute very little. So that's something to consider as well. You're putting a financial strain on the economy, on the government, relying on government funding. Because there is very little legal precedence for these situations, you run the risk of encountering the legal haphazard approaches that are in place now. Keeping in mind that the law at this point in time doesn't really care how the children are provided for, just that they are, which could result in an unsatisfactory outcome for all parties involved. So, I'm going to take another moment to reiterate that I am not an attorney, and highly recommend, if you are going to attempt this on purpose, that you do not take the aforementioned as legal advice or law. Laws vary and may have changed since this article was even written, and also vary by region. So the best suggestion I could make for you here is to consult a licensed attorney in your area who is familiar with the laws there. And although these are some of the potential legal ramifications of a pregnancy and some things to think about that is a result of a cuckolding relationship, I'd like to add some additional food for thought here, as I personally, from the bottom of my heart, hope that you would take the following factors as well into consideration prior to making a decision to become pregnant as a result of a cuckold relationship. First being, think of the child. Think of the child first before putting your kinky desires into action. Again, think of the child and put them first before engaging in your kinky desires. 3, consider how the three of you intend to raise this child. Is the father going to just assume the cuckold going to assume the fatherly role and the bull have no part in it? Or is the bull going to be a part of the child's life? How is that going to work out financially? All things to consider. And then, how is the custody situation or visitation, how is that going to play into things? You know, does your bull want to be a part of the child's life? And how do you incorporate that into their life, the child's life? Something else to consider: what will you tell the child as they get older and begin to ask questions, have doubts about who they are and where they came from? Take into consideration how that child will be treated by both fathers, friends, family, etc., especially if they find out. Why do you want to do this to begin with? Is it just to fulfill a fantasy? Is it worth the risk of the social, emotional, and mental anguish that this dynamic could potentially have on the child? And lastly, I can't say this enough. Think of the child before fulfilling your kinky desires. And with that, I say I will never judge anyone for their kinks, fetishes, desires, or choices, because heaven knows I am far from perfect and we all have them. Whether it's this or something else, we all have our thing. However, I will always, always, always be on the side of a child. Um, this may not be a popular opinion for some. However, sometimes you gotta stand alone, even if it's the right thing to do. Standing alone, well, I guess I would stand alone then in this situation. Um, so, anyway, now let me get off of my soapbox here. And I hope that you all enjoyed this viewer's choice video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss a single episode of the Viewer's Choice series. And until next time, everybody, love hugs and smoky kisses.